Today we're kicking off our Kids Under Construction Back to School series. So of course that means Donna Tetreault joining us from LA via Zoom. Donna, thanks so much for being with us. Excited to talk back to school and this special back to school series with you. So today let's talk about the basics and first off getting our kids back on a schedule.
Yeah, Emily, hi, how are you? I mean, it is that time, right? It's back to school time. So we want to really kind of set this series in motion and talk about these basics, like you said. The first thing is we really got to get our kids back on a schedule, right? And the best way to do that is to help our kids create that schedule and really let them create that schedule. So you want to include time for sleep, homework, dinner, bath, after school activities, and all that extra free time too, because you want to build in some of that free time as well. We've learned this from the pandemic. We need our downtime, right? We also want to hang that schedule somewhere that's visible. So it doesn't have to be pretty and perfect, but we want it so people can see, kids, parents, know this schedule and can refer to it. And also it's really helpful when kids maybe don't want to stick to that schedule for some reason. You can say as a parent, go back to the schedule and say, well, this is what we agreed on, right? Of course, being flexible within that schedule as well.
I love your idea of putting it on the wall somewhere so everyone can see it and we're all on the same page. Let's talk about creating a homework spot. I think this is a good idea to really get things flowing and know that you're in the zone when you're in your spot.
Yeah, I think so too, Emily. And I think it is important right now, especially because what we know is from the pandemic, our kids had these spots where they were working Zoom and everything else. Let's clean this area up and make it a special homework spot. And we can stock really nice pencils or pens, a fancy lamp that they might want to pick out, anything that's going to make their spot exciting for them to focus and be able to learn. Also, some kids like to stand, or some kids like to get cozy when they do their homework. So if your kid is saying, I really don't want to work at the desk today, allow them to have that standing desk or somewhere on the counter where they can stand. You can move your homework spot a little bit and let kids kind of feel good about when they're doing their homework. So getting them in that right physical space is really important for them.
I love that. I love them having an area, and I love the idea to make it whatever they want it to be with some really cool stuff. Okay, Donna, let's talk about setting goals for the school year and kind of playing out what we hope to accomplish in a year that will really be unlike any other we've experienced.
You're so right, Emily, and that's what we have to do. I think it's really important that we set expectations for this positive school year and to do well, for our kids to always try their best. But within that, be very, very flexible, because this is a very different school year. Their kids are starting in class with masks, but then they might be pulled back. We don't know because of the Delta variant. And also, what are kids thinking about? How are they going to set their own expectations? And so helping our kids write a contract out and say, what do you want to do this school year? What do you think is important that we focus on this school year? And really blend it together as a family, not focusing on the grade, the end result, focusing on the process. This is really important during the school year.
I love that, and I love the idea of contracts. My parents were big on contracts, and they still have a couple of them at our house that we grew up in, and it's really funny to look at and see what I was agreeing to. Okay, let's talk about going back to school and talking about that with our kids and getting them ready. We're on the final countdown, so what conversations should we be having with our kids right now?
Yeah, asking a lot of questions, I think. How are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you excited to see friends? Are you nervous about wearing a mask all day? What's going on with how you feel? If they don't feel like talking at that particular time, let it go. Let them come to you. They know that by asking these open-ended questions that you're available. Also, this is a really difficult time potentially for kindergartners and for kids who are starting a new school year. So talk about that. Talk about making friends. Talk about the fact that this is a new adventure, really trying to get them engaged. And then, just be there. Be there, listening to their fears and letting them know that you're there for them. And also let them know teachers are nervous on the first day of school as well. They've got all these kids coming in that they've got to take care of. So students aren't the only ones who are nervous. Teachers are too, and they're going to all learn together.
I love that, and the moms are nervous as well. Okay, Donna, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We want to remind everyone at home that you can check out Donna's podcast, Kids Under Construction. You can get to it from our website, abc4.com, and you can send us questions of your own, Kids Under Construction at abc4.com, and Donna's got the answers for us. Donna, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.